Hi everyone, welcome to Accessibility with Meg. I'm Meg, and today I want to walk you through how to become a digital accessibility tester specialist. If you've ever wondered what this role actually involves, what skills you need, and how to get certified, this video is for you. Let's get into it. What you'll need to learn. So let's first just start with the foundations, right? First of all, you will need general QA knowledge, just a mindset for testing, the different methodologies, how you think critically about a product, just know-how of QA, right? So how would you test a product to find any bugs that are within it? Just things like that. That mindset, you need to bring that mindset and the knowledge of QA to the table. The next thing that you would need is also knowledge about accessibility itself, right? What are the governing laws behind it and the different types of disabilities you're designing and testing for. Thirdly, a basic grasp of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript goes a very long way since most accessibility issues live inside of code. So you need to actually know the workings, and so knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript really helps. Also, some basic design knowledge. It gives you a better understanding of the visual choices like color, spacing, layout, and how that affects accessibility. Also, knowledge of design helps you to interact better with the design team. It will give you a proper understanding of how to use tools like Figma to annotate, or just basically be able to speak to somebody from the design team and explain to them what the accessibility needs are. So a foundation or a basic foundational knowledge of design and development front end really does help. Next, you'll want to get comfortable with the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG. Now, this is really the backbone of accessibility testing. So knowing it inside out is very important. Knowing the 4 principles, the different guidelines, and the different success criteria for all versions like 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, and now also an understanding of 3.0 is very, very important. So WCAG, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, is one of the most crucial things to know if you want to be an accessibility tester specialist. Alongside that, we have WAI-ARIA, which helps you understand how to make dynamic and custom components accessible. So you'll need to have this information as well. You'll also need to learn how to actually operate screen readers. So tools like NVDA, JAWS, VoiceOver on web and mobile, and TalkBack, because testing accessibility means experiencing it in the way real users do. So being able to use these tools, and a main part of the testing, it has screen reader testing, and so having knowledge of these tools is very important. Also, how to test different assets for accessibility, right? So you'll test a wide range of assets in your everyday work. And these range from like websites, PDFs, PowerPoints, Word documents, videos, podcasts, audio, and even emails. So knowing how to do this testing is very important again as a tester, right? So just having knowledge to test these different assets is required. And then you have auditing tools. So there are a lot of auditing. There will be a lot of auditing that you would do. So for your audits, you need to have knowledge of specific tools if they are automated audits. Uh, Things like DQ Auditor, DQ Dev Tools, um, DQ Monitor, etc. These will support and validate your findings when you're auditing, right? So you need to have knowledge of these kinds of software. If you do auditing by a manual process, the knowledge of Excel is very important. So you can basically represent and show all your validations and your findings, your reasonings, your test cases, just your checklists and how, all of those other things can be documented and shown. So you need to have knowledge of all of that. So documenting, reporting, and managing your findings or your tests is a very, very crucial part of testing, right? So you need to get comfortable doing this. You need to get comfortable documenting and reporting your findings, and you will need tools like Excel and Jira to track issues and communicate with teams. So it's important to understand these. Also, it's worth understanding the software development life cycle and the software testing life cycles too. So you know exactly where accessibility fits into the big picture. On the tool side, you will work with things like Adobe Acrobat Pro, Microsoft Suite, which would involve your Word, PPT, and Excel documents again, Figma for annotations, and different types of browsers. You will find yourself working on different browsers and browser combinations with screen reader tools, right? So you will have to have knowledge of these. And specifically, you would also need to have knowledge of like what is an accessibility tree, or if you use Chrome, how do you reach your dev tools to investigate further into your code as to any issues or errors that you might have found. Because always remember, finding an issue is a very good thing, but you need to validate that issue with evidencing, and you need to be able to go into code to figure out where exactly is this issue coming from, to be able to document it and send it to the dev team as a bug, right? So that's important. And this list keeps growing because accessibility is always evolving. So apart from this, there would be other things in your everyday work that you should have knowledge of. But to start off, like this entire list is what is needed for you to be an accessibility tester specialist for digital assets. Now let's talk about certification, right? The International Association of Accessibility Professionals, or what we call IAAP, is the go-to certifying body here in Canada, right? Their flagship credential is a CPWA, which is the Certified Professional in Web Accessibility. Now, what makes CPWA valuable is that it's actually built on 2 exams. So you are a CPACC, which is a Certified Professional in Accessibility Core Competencies, which covers the foundational knowledge, and a WAS, which is the Web Accessibility Specialist certification, right? Which focuses on the technical hands-on content. So both of these exams, which is like the CPACC certification and the WAS, when you complete both of them, you become what is called a CPWA, which is Certified Professional in Web Accessibility. Being a CPWA, you need you will find good jobs and good opportunities, but this is a standard that is required for accessibility. And it's good to be certified, professionally certified, which tells people that you know your stuff, okay? Also, to start off, just doing a CPACC and then working towards a WAS exam is a good idea. because your CPACC will give you that foot into accessibility. And for WAS, you need to have some experience that you can add on to be able to be qualifying for that exam. Okay, so you can find all of this information on the IAAP website. I will put that link in the bio below, so you can check that there. So if this content has helped you, please subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear where you're starting from, or if there are any questions you may have. Also, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.